I also can prophesize the future. And I also can see subliminal messaging.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Miss Pillsbury's slow, girl.
Look, really? I'm pretty sure I could truck the shit out of you fucking overgrown baby.
Dude, whatever you're smoking, buy a ton of it.
I'm the greatest smack talker on the fucking face of the earth right now.
Possibility of women playing in the league? I don't think it's impossible.
You fucking punk-ass bitch!
Jesus Christ, that hurt. I'm still gonna have
I'm fucking real, bro. You ain't shit.
Well, this is smacking off. If you don't like it, change your diaper and leave.
Don't be ridiculous right now, okay?
I'd rather watch softcore porn than have to watch all that.
No, that's like open. And then from there, you gotta cross.
Bro, who invited this dude, bro? What the fuck? Get this dude out of here, bro.
No, USC is far better than Oklahoma historically.
Your meatloaf is moist as my pussy gets. I promise you that.
Okay.
Oh, shit. This has turned into Kane Arthur's drug class.
How long?
They need you back at the cash register in 5 minutes.
Well, Tiggy's like Pike minus the entertainment value.
Smack off. Smacking off the podcast is starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is everybody there?
You guys here? I'm here.
All right, let's check off one at a time. Chris Scully.
What up?
I am here.
Alex Bryan.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes. Loud and clear.
Jason.
Here.
All right. And Kyle Golick. We don't give a fuck if you're here.
Oh, Kyle's here. We know. Yeah. What's up, Kyle? How you been, man? Kyle hadn't been on the show in a while.
I haven't watched you guys in a while, yeah. It's back in the swing of things.
Why is it so quiet?
I don't know.
Let me see. We are really quiet in our headphones tonight for some reason or another.
Try it now.
Hey, fellas, listen, my internet sucks. If I get disconnected, I'll try to come back online.
Are you still on AOL?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dial-up. It's still on dial-up for sure.
Paying by the minute? Yeah.
Look, if you get disconnected, you will not get paid for this segment.
Okay.
God damn it.
I won't expect my check.
Reminds me of that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where he asked him about Kip about the chat rooms.
Yeah.
And about Grandma still pays by the minute. She gets pretty pissed.
That's
sometimes.
a weird movie. It's like, what is the time frame of that movie? It's like it's kind of like
it's timeless.
It's kind of like the '80s, except that they have internet.
Yeah, it's timeless.
It's really odd.
Yeah.
Let's let Jason Hostetler go first because.
Are any of y'all on speakerphone? If you're on speakerphone, turn it off because we're getting some major interference from somebody there.
Negative.
Okay.
Well, whatever it was, cleared up.
Yeah, somebody fixed it.
It was probably me.
Okay, who was you, bastard?
Who's you? That's Alex, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I can't
Alex.
hear you guys otherwise.
That's fucking Buckeyes. Well, we'll try to speak up. Is that better?
Maybe.
Yeah. Get the dick out of your ears. All right. Now, we have to talk about the Big Ten because there's a lot of question marks as far as who's going to fall where. And also the big question is the Big Ten going to be shut out yet again from the playoffs?
I doubt that.
Chris Scully, we'll talk to you about that for a second. You're a big Penn State fan.
Yes, I am.
But let's talk about this for a second. Who's going to get in this year?
The playoffs or just or who's going to win the Big Ten?
Well, I would say that the person that wins the Big Ten with less than two losses is probably going to be a shoo-in. I think we can all fairly say that. That's.
Alex is going to disagree with you.
Okay. I know why.
Alex says that a 4-loss Bama will beat a 1-loss Ohio State.
What did I say?
I'm just saying that you would probably say that.
Oh yeah, I mean, SEC gets all the leeway there. Big Ten doesn't, so that makes sense.
That's just very true.
Yeah, somebody's fucking major feedback on.
No, that was clapping.
That was clapping. That was the studio audience.
I got the Big Ten getting shut out, the Big Ten champion having 2 losses, so that's just my personal opinion.
Well, to get this rolling, absolutely.
Sorry, I got disconnected.
No,
you didn't.
You're reconnected now.
I am.
You don't have a lot of personality. We didn't even miss you.
You've got mail.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Jason, how about these Cornhuskers? Damn it.
Yeah, ranked 26th in the nation in the coaches poll recently, and that's quite a feat for a four-loss team.
But a lot of people are
returning four-loss.
A lot of people are actually picking them to win the West.
Wow.
Are they not?
Yeah, but there's also been people picking Minnesota as well. So I mean, it's a toss-up.
I like Minnesota.
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Minnesota State. Sorry about that.
That was Coach.
Yeah.
Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah, I was going to say that. What were they called?
The
Golden Eagles.
Yeah,
the Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Golden Eagles. Love that show.
That was a very.
Let me chime in here. I would have to say Nebraska, with them winning like they did towards the end of the season, if they can carry that momentum over into this season, don't be surprised if they do win the Big Ten West.
Oh, how did Nebraska end up? I know Nebraska went on a little win streak at the end of last season. Would they go on a four game win streak?
They went 4-2 the last 6.
6 games. Yeah, they went 4-2 last. I can't remember. Was it Ohio State or was it Michigan? They gave them a little trouble.
Ohio State
at Ohio State.
Yeah, that's right. They did give. Yeah, so they gave one of the big boys a little.
It's important to remember though that the 4 wins that they got in that 4-2 stretch was the only 4 wins they got for the season. Am I right?
No, yeah, that's correct. But hey, just got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
Big Ten West will be decided on Black Friday between Iowa and Nebraska. My prediction.
Okay.
Do they have a name for that game? They really should.
I think it's the Freedom Trophy.
It should be like it should be like the Cornhole Bowl or something.
Right. I'm with that name for sure for that one.
It would be a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of corn going on in Iowa and Nebraska. Let's just.
I'll tell you what. To be honest, I wish the Big Ten would make it to where Penn State and Nebraska was a rivalry. I really would like to have Nebraska as a rival. Play at the end of the year.
They tried that
I
for
don't
so
think they'll
long.
do that. Huh?
They tried it.
Well, that's right, Kyle. You're a Penn State fan. How would you feel if they made Nebraska our rival? Or Big Ten rival?
They tried that for a while. They remember before they did the realignment, the crossover game Penn State had every year was with Nebraska.
Yeah, but it wasn't at the end of the year. Like rivalry week at the end of the year.
Here's the thing. End of the year, that Nebraska-Iowa game, I know Iowa dominated that game for a while, but that is a very good game. And I think with Nebraska heating up and Iowa being Iowa, I think that, that over the next 5 or 10 years might be a solid game there. I wouldn't mess with that. I think Penn State's final game of the season should either be Michigan State or Maryland, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could go with that. But
the problem is you can't just make rivalries. The rivalries are made on the field.
Right.
So if that's going to happen,
too,
Nebraska and Penn State are going to have some.
That's more of a fan rivalry from.
Yeah.
I think though that Nebraska and Penn State would be a competitive series.
It would.
Yeah, it would.
For sure.
I just think when I look at the Big Ten West, I look at Nebraska with Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and then I hate to throw this into here, but part of me thinks the Big 12 is going to dissipate and Oklahoma is going to join the Big Ten. That's just my personal opinion, and I think Nebraska, Oklahoma, that would trump everything right there. But But if we're going to keep it to certainties, there's a lot of good Big Ten West games that Nebraska should end the season with.
Man, before I forget about this, sitting here watching the people watching this, I have to go ahead and say that Dane Kelly is picking Purdue to win the Big Ten.
Why not?
I can only imagine.
Why not?
They find a quarterback. Why not? I mean, they have, in my opinion, the best offensive football player in the Big Ten. I think Rondale Moore is back for another year. If they continue just chucking the ball, why not? You could get to the Big Ten, get to Indy from the West. Anyone could. So anything matters. Like I said, I think the Big Ten's going to get shut out of the playoff this year. It's just everyone's just so competitive and there's so much uncertainty. It's just one of those years.
Well, I tell you what, Kyle. If Ohio State does go like undefeated and win the Big Ten, they're in.
Oh yeah,
you can't. Or it would either listen now. If it would now, just say Nebraska does win the West, and say they do win the Big Ten game, they ride that momentum. They have like a Penn State year, like we had. And they win, then the Big Ten would be. The playoffs wouldn't have the Big Ten champion in it.
Hey, let's get to the bottom of this Michigan thing real quick. Is anybody buying this Michigan hype? Anybody?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Nah, come on, man.
By the way,
booger.
I want to point out one thing about
Mr.
that.
Michael Dupree.
I love how Jalen Rose goes and says, it's our turn. And that's another thing.
What?
That's earned. He said, it's our turn to beat the Buckeyes. It's our turn to win the Big Ten. It's our turn to make the playoffs.
Rose to say it's our turn.
I know. I'm just saying that's another thing you earn on the field, Mr. Jalen Rose.
Well, they definitely got the media on their side, and
right.
Well,
kind of like Texas.
Oh, they always do.
Oh yeah. I tell you what though.
All the media members that are Michigan alums, it's a fait accompli. They're just living it this year. Look at all the talent they lost to the NFL. You're saying we lose Rashawn Gary, Devin Bush, and a plethora of other talent, and we just got guys sitting here ready to go. Bullshit. They're going to go 8-4, and they're going to bust. Fuck them.
Well, here's my thing. Wolverine fans are sold on the fact that Josh Gaddis is going to take them to the promised land. Here's what every year they take some person that they get and they say they're going to take us to the promised land. Josh Gaddis, me and Doug talked about this. Josh Gaddis doesn't have any play calling experience, and they're expecting this guy to go in and take them to the promised land. That's like us promoting Ed Warner in 2015. He ruined our entire offense. I'm not saying Josh Gaddis is going to ruin them. There's nowhere to go but up. But
here's the thing about Michigan: as long as Harbaugh's there, it's going to be whatever offense Harbaugh wants.
Exactly.
They can bring in, the top offensive mind, and it still wouldn't matter. It is Harbaugh's team.
Right, and Wolverine fans were excited about Jim McElwain coming in and saying he was going to take them to the promised land.
McElwain.
So this is
Sharky. Whatever happened to that dude?
I don't know. He's probably off with Shrek.
He's working Sporting Goods at a hired.
Right.
I hate to say it though, but Michigan will beat Ohio State this year.
Absolutely not.
Well, here's what
they will lose to Michigan State, and it will be his job on the line. And I do believe that they will.
Absolutely not.
So Jason, you do believe in this Michigan hype to a degree?
I don't believe it. They won't finish with a great, playoffs. No, none of that. But they will beat Ohio State for his job. That's the only reason.
Nope.
Well, here's what. Let me chime in real quick. Nobody noticed the fact that Ohio State's last two games is Penn State and Michigan, and I can't remember the last time Ohio State had the two heavyweights of the East Division back to back at the end of the season. I think if Penn State does get over that 1 point fucking hump and beats Ohio State, I think that it might deflate Ohio State in a way that Michigan would beat Ohio State this year.
No, it would be
my opinion.
If that happened, it would be just like 2015 where we lost to MSU and then we came out pissed off as hell the very next week and drubbed them. That's how it would go. And honestly, if we lost to Penn State that week, I would almost welcome it so we would have more momentum going into that game. Not that I want to lose to anybody.
But you definitely don't want to lose to Michigan.
I mean, you could be right. I could be wrong. I'm just saying, though. I think
Harbaugh's last game at Michigan. I'm telling you, he will lose that game. It's going to be it'll be a close one, but he'll be done after this because there's no reason on keeping him after this year.
You think Michigan will buy out his contract?
Yep.
His lifetime contract?
Yep.
You think
You
so?
can't. Hey, look,
Quote, unquote.
keep paying them to allow Ohio State to catch up in the series.
I would love that. I would
that's
love
true,
for him
too.
to stay until we take the lead. I would love it. He's too easy to beat. He's too easy to beat. And Don Brown, he's not going to change up his scheme. We're going to have just as good of an offense. Ryan Day's still calling the plays, even though he's head coach.
Don Brown's problem is he's stuck in his ways, and he doesn't adjust. And then when he gets his ass handed to him, he doesn't know what to do. He just throws that card up in the air and performs mustache rides in the room.
Bingo. Like, he doesn't change anything. So our offense is going to still be great. I mean, come on. Defense is really the biggest question mark outside of offensive line. But, I mean, we got a guy coming in from Rutgers who's supposed to be good on our offensive line. We'll see. We got some guys back healthy that weren't healthy last year. So, I mean,
Here's all I got to say to you, Alex Bryan. Fuck Brian Hartline. That coach he's tearing shit up.
I did not foresee him being as good of a recruiter as he's been, but I mean, if anybody who knows me knows that before the Zach Smith stuff happened, that I wanted him gone simply because I didn't think he developed wide receivers that well. After Devin Smith and Michael Thomas left, it kind of was glaringly obvious he wasn't the best developer. But now I'm even more glad he's gone, not just because of the issues with him, but because Brian Hartline's a tank. This guy is doing things with these receivers that I've been dreaming of for years.
Who's the 4 or 5-star back you guys just got? Is it from California?
The running back?
Yeah.
We missed out on a 5-star running back.
Or was it the safety?
Yeah, Clark something the third, I think.
Yeah.
Oh
man, that was a kick. Who was the linebacker you guys just got that had Penn State on there?
Was it Court Williams?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we've done a pretty good job, and he's killing it, man. I hope he doesn't get hired by anybody else. I hope he stays a Buckeye for a very, very, very long time.
Who is leading the Big Ten in recruiting right now? Is it Ohio State? Ohio State?
We are.
I thought so.
Penn State has bigger numbers because Franklin apparently said he wants to get 30 recruits in because we have the number.
Boy.
That'll be the only reason Penn State's up there. But I would say watch out if Franklin gets 30 recruits because they're going to be a plethora of 3, 4, and 5-star guys.
Well, I tell you what, I will say right now, I think Noah Kane will probably be the best running back in the Big Ten his final season. That boy is awesome.
Dude, I'm all about it.
Nobody's talking about him. And there's Devin Ford and Slade. I read some articles declaring Penn State the new running back university.
Give it a few more years. You got to give it some other schools.
Yeah, you got to give that time to develop for sure.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, Saquon and Miles
somewhere
high profile, but let's see what happens with guys like Devin Ford, Ricky Slade, Noah Kane, like you mentioned, before we call ourselves RBU again.
I just got to say, you guys got to beat the Wolverines this year, please.
Oh,
yes, white out there.
Even College Football News, who picked Michigan to win the Big Ten, said their only regular season loss would be at Penn State. So
I hope. Wow. I need them as demoralized as possible.
All right, guys. I want to get you guys predictions for the East and the West here, and who's going to the championship game and all that good stuff. Well, let's start with Jason.
All right, the West, I got Nebraska winning it. Number 2, Northwestern, then Iowa, then Purdue, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois.
Well, you got Wisconsin falling back a little bit, eh?
Well, they'll be 8-4, but there's going to be a whole bunch of teams around there.
I got you. How about
in the East, I got Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, Maryland, Indiana, and then Rutgers.
Michigan. So, you think Michigan's going to win the conference?
Well, Michigan and Ohio State will both finish 10-2,
Mm-hmm.
and Michigan will have the
tiebreaker. Michigan has the tiebreaker, goes into the championship game. Do you have Michigan beat Nebraska, or have you not thought that far ahead?
Michigan beating Nebraska probably by about 14 to 21 points.
Wow, 10-2. I doubt that they would get into the championship game at 10-2, even beat Nebraska. I don't know. Alex, tell him why he's wrong.
All right. So, in the West, I have Northwestern repeating as the West champs. After that, I got Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Purdue, Minnesota, and Illinois. And then the East, I obviously have Ohio State with their only loss being to Northwestern on Friday night in Evanston, Illinois. Then I got the Wolverines, Penn State, Michigan State, Maryland, Indiana, and Rutgers. And I have Ohio State winning in their season rematch against Northwestern and Big Ten championship rematch.
So you're saying a one-loss Ohio State team?
Yes, they will be 12-1, but I still think they miss the playoffs.
Nope, not at all. No, at 12-1, they're in.
Because if Alabama and Georgia go into their game both undefeated, the loser, I believe, will get in simply because that's just how
Ohio State gets in over
there
the
is so
over the
much
loser.
there is so much SEC fatigue right now that I don't think this is going to be that year, even though statistically maybe it should be.
Is because they had the audacity to rank Georgia ahead of us in the last poll.
It didn't mean anything, though. I mean, it was.
They wanted Georgia in if Oklahoma fell. They will find a way to put a one-loss Georgia in over us if we are a one-loss team.
Oh,
we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. Okay, Kyle Golick.
All right. So I kind of tipped my hand earlier. I think the Big Ten West is going to come down to Black Friday between Nebraska and Iowa. I think Nebraska. I'm going to go with everyone in the country and take Nebraska. I'm also saying I believe Nebraska plays Ohio State this year.
Yes.
I'm saying this right now. I'm saying the Cornhuskers pull off the upset that day. That'll be Ohio State's one of their two losses this year. And you're going to see a lot of Nebraska's back talk all over that. I think the Big Ten this year is going to be very, very competitive and very cannibalized. I just think there's no one that's that much ahead of them yet. I think as Ohio State stabilizes under Ryan Day, I think they're going to keep the mantle. When I go out east, I'm taking Ohio State as it pains me to say. I think they're going to go 10-2. I got Penn State going 9-3. I got Michigan State 9-3, and I got Michigan at 8-4. I just think out east, I think you got competitive amongst the top. I can see some losses happening. I think Penn State catches Michigan, but I think Michigan could go a big 0-3 against the traditional rivals they have. So I don't see nothing special from there. And I think the Big Ten just doesn't go to the college football playoff. I think at 10-2, they don't get in. And I also think with the way the New Year's Six Bowls are, is, Ohio State will get the Rose Bowl, and I just think we're not going to have any other New Year's Six teams. We may get a 9-3 team may get in there, but I don't think with the rankings will get the at-large. So I think it's a down year for the Big Ten.
So Big Ten is definitely not going to be in the playoffs per Kyle Golick.
Right. Chris Scully, give the positive spin here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna list them like divisions. I'm just gonna list you who's the top. As far as actually winning the Big Ten, I would have to say you got Ohio State, you got Michigan, and I would have to put Iowa right there. Then your second tier teams, I would have to say Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan State, and maybe in Northwestern is what I'm looking at right now as far as the ladder to who I think would probably take the Big Ten. As far as my predictions, I think Nebraska probably will win the West. And those last couple, the last couple games of the year, is going to decide the East. I think it's going to really be a mix between Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. As far as my boys, I got us going 9-3 and making a New York six bowl. But I have to disagree and say that a Big Ten team will get in the playoffs this year. I think these past 2 years without a Big Ten rep, I think that I think the committee would, especially if like Ohio State goes undefeated, they're definitely in.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I even think like a Nebraska 8-2 and having some other key games, like having some other teams have some key losses. If Nebraska had 2 losses, wins the Big Ten, and there was a couple other key losses in the mix, I think Nebraska probably would go and rep the Big Ten in the playoffs. That's just my
Whoa. Chris Scully just said that Nebraska
with 2 losses
would rep.
He didn't say that. He said if the
Well,
right
I
things
know
happen.
that
I
the
said
right.
there'd have to be some key losses.
I will say this.
But that would be. I mean, can you imagine what a huge transformation that is? That's
Nebraska really still is. They're probably, I would say, third in the big as far as TV draw, a third or fourth.
Yeah.
But that's still really high nationally.
Well, we're also talking about.
Dude, yeah, they're what you guys call blue blood program.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah, you have to mention them in that in that conversation. But I mean,
that's most definitely.
But at the same time, we all know that ultimately it's not just about TV draw; it's about performance on the field, and we're talking about a team that only won 4 games last year.
Well,
So I mean,
I'm go back
it's a
to
great
what
story.
Kyle said.
Yeah, that's that's huge. That's like
the Big Ten
that's
this
big.
year. If Nebraska, if the Big Ten proves itself to be the number 1 or number 2 conference, and Nebraska comes out with 2 losses, and just say they're like slim losses, they only lost by a couple points.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then like I said,
Well, it would
it
also depend on who they lost to.
Lose 2 games or something. They might lose 3. Who knows? Or even Georgia. They might have a down year. You don't know.
I'll tell you right now, though, I will stake my reputation on the fact that Alabama will not lose 3 games because I can't figure which 3 games they will lose.
They'll go undefeated. Possible.
Yeah. I mean, anything is possible, yes, but yeah, it would have to be a serious, complete collapse with the and I hate to say it, with the really cream puff schedule that Alabama has this year, both Alabama and Clemson for that matter.
All right, before we hang up on you guys, what's the biggest big game to start the season? I have not looked at the schedules.
Maybe that was the wrong song.
Northwestern has a road trip to Stanford game 1.
That's interesting.
Pretty interesting one.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Other than that, I mean,
you got the mighty Florida Atlantic Owls coming up to meet.
And I'm disappointed in them.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to land DeAndre Francois, and he said, "No, I'm good. I'm going to go play at whatever the hell
Hampton.
college he's going to fucking play at now."
Hampton.
I'm gonna throw a couple games.
Beating your women in Hampton's more acceptable than it is in South Florida.
Well, hey, he should have just come down here. He could have come to Auburn. Yeah, Auburn loves that sort of thing.
Michigan State at Arizona State, September 14th.
Oh yeah.
Mark it on your calendars. That's going to tell you if Michigan State's for real or not.
Well, last year it told us that they wasn't for real.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's gonna tell you if Mark D'Antonio can really get it back on track or not.
Yep.
I'll throw another game out that it's a Friday night in September. Maryland and Penn State.
Yes, that's going to be a good game.
That's a trap game for Penn State, and it's one of the.
We could lose that one.
That's a game that Maryland can finish the month undefeated. Remember, Maryland's beaten up. Didn't they beat up on Texas?
They did 2 years in a row.
Maryland is there's some stuff going on over there.
That's a game to watch. Keep an eye on.
Loxley's over there
that
now,
stuff
right?
that Clemson's doing, they're smoking it in Maryland.
Yeah.
And obviously, as I said earlier, that Ohio State Northwestern game Friday night at Evansville, Illinois. That's the one I think we drop. I don't think we get blown out. I'm going to put that on the record right now. We're not getting blown out anymore to unranked teams. They'll be ranked, though, probably. But
I tell you what, though, I tell you, I think the Penn State Pitt game is going to be a game to watch because I think, we played them for the last 3 years. We beat them twice. I think Pitt might come in a little fired up to beat us this year. I think the Penn State Pitt rivalry will have a little, have a little fire under these boys' asses to beat each other up.
Pitt won this game like in the last 2 years, didn't they?
No, they won the first year. They lost the last two.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, guys.
Well, we almost actually really came back and beat them.
Here's one more
game. Another 5 minutes.
Well, guys, y'all have me looking forward to some Big Ten football.
Here's one more game.
That's in the country.
Who?
TCU and Purdue.
TCU and Purdue. I did not know that was happening.
Boilermakers, Jeff Strom. All right, guys, we got a boogie. We're over our break. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Have fun.
You too.
All right.
Go Bucks. Go Penn State. We are.
G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe, fighting man from head to toe, on the land, on the sea, in the air.
G.I. Joe attacks! Boom, boom! G.I. Joe takes the hill! Bam, bam! Horrific battle!
Terrific equipment to have a battle with. When you get G.I. Joe and the authentic G.I. Joe equipment, you'll have the greatest realism, the greatest fun you ever had in playing soldier. Box after box of authentic uniforms and equipment, so you can change your G.I. Joe soldier into a camouflage Marine ready for battle, a Navy frogman with complete scuba suit and inflatable life raft, an Air Force pilot with high-altitude helmet and air vest. Get G.I. Joe and get G.I. Joe equipment so you can set up exciting battle action whenever you want. Remember, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
No TV, no TV.
What? No.
Hello, I'm Pee Wee Herman.
Talking Pee-wee is really cuckoo.
He's naughty. I know you are, but what am I?
Soon you'll be that way too. Whatever you may do, it's so much fun when he's with you.
Banana sandwich?
You'll go wacko, you'll go crazy with Talking Pee-wee.
Talking Pee-wee from Matchbox for you and your kid. Cherry sold separately.
What's that? Major Lock.
Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
You're out, Rose.
The Atari video computer system is 20 cartridges with 1,300 game variations you play on your own TV set.
You can't keep me in here, Atari.
Don't listen tonight. Play it.
Starting on August 29th, Smacking Off the podcast will be coming to you on Thursdays for a full hour and on Sundays for 30 minutes. Please make a note and adjust your schedules appropriately. Thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Coconut. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Smacking Off podcast. We're joined with Mr. President Justin Pike and hashtag fake profiles Landon Beamon. What's up, guys?
What is going on? What's up? Good to be back.
Man, it is great to have both of y'all back on the air. Justin Pike, how are you doing, brother?
I'm hanging in there, guys. Hanging in there. Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
We posted up the picture of you with your porn stash, which you now no longer have. I am truly heartbroken over this.
Yeah. It wasn't nothing I was going to do very permanent or anything like that.
Why not?
I see, what happened was I had a shave.
What happened was
I was drunk, and I accidentally clipped my beard, like the middle of it with the razor. I was like, well, shit, what do I do? So I just kind of started playing around with that.
And you said, I'm going to fuck with the people in the smack groups with that shit.
What would a mustache look like? And then I did it, and it looked great. I was like, oh.
Dude, you should have kept it, man. It was like it was the coolest fucking thing ever. You could have went and born with that
But
stash.
if you do it again, you need handlebars.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about growing back. Well, I mean, I can grow a beard in a couple of days. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing to grow a mustache.
Because you're a man.
I am a man.
A manly man.
Oh, by the way, my 30th birthday is this upcoming Friday. I will be my dirty 30.
You should really kept that mustache for your 30th birthday.
You don't have the birthday song on there, do you?
No.
I'll be at the beach. I'll be in Carolina Beach.
Well, what do you want? I need to ship you a present.
Yes, absolutely.
You can pre-order me today.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous, caviar and bottles of Dom Perignon.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited. But I'm kind of nervous about turning 30, to be honest with you.
Why?
It's a big milestone. It's a big milestone.
Well, I mean, I've already done it. It's not that big of a deal, really. In fact, I went absolutely buck wild when I turned 30. Doug remembers. I don't.
Where was that at?
I have no idea. I can't remember. The day I turned 30, I went to a juke joint thing that they were doing over in Avondale, and Wade Jones was over there, and they provided me a bottle of rum, and I drank that bottle of rum, and then somebody produced a bottle of 1812. Now, 1812 is cool because you can or not 1812. I don't know. That's how drunk I was. 1800. The Jose Cuervo, the kind that has the bottle cap on it where you can tip it over and it actually serves as a shot glass. Holy shit. Yeah, I consumed that and then went somewhere later on and somebody had produced a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label. And that's, I don't remember much about after that. Yeah, I drank that whole entire day and just got completely ripped.
Oh, yeah. I got big plans. I'm just going to sit on the beach all day on my birthday and just day drink on the beach.
That's a good thing to do. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I love the sound effects y'all have added.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, and listen, we're live now. This is coming.
Yeah, we hired a guy.
I'm actually very impressed by this.
Well, we have really moved forward into the 21st century with this podcast. We
have our own building now and everything.
We've also got sponsors. Doyle Hargraves Construction.
You pay rent on the building?
No, I don't pay rent.
We're gonna keep this some bitch until they evict us.
Yeah, it's a vacant house. It's a vacant house in the absolute worst neighborhood in Birmingham.
And we're running an extension cord from the next door neighbor.
Nobody knows we're here. We do it in the basement in candlelight. They've already ripped all the plumbing out over here though, so we have to shed the floor.
Meaning you.
So what do y'all think about recently how I got the group popping? I've got that thing popping here recently.
You do have the group popping. There are a lot of new Justin Pike aficionados. I wonder why.
I added a lot.
You did. I figured you said to yourself, okay, I do stuff over there and it gets a little bit of response. Man, I'm gonna add my fucking posse. And,
exactly.
And then when I do something, it's going to get response.
Well, the most important member of your posse that you added, which I am certainly glad to see back, is one James David Marshall.
Yeah, he is back.
We got to get him on the cast.
Yeah, we invited him along with y'all.
I tried.
What did he say? I didn't even ask you. That's a waste of time.
He didn't respond to me when I asked him. I tried.
Exactly.
I was actually going to ask him too, and I was like, no, he'll just delete the message. He'll look over it and chuckle and delete the message.
Met Marshall. Marshall is not a podcast, videos. Marshall likes to lay low.
So basically, what you're saying is he's an ugly man with a very, very pronounced Southern accent, right?
He did a video one time.
He's talking about my balls. Is that the way he really talks
about his balls?
Yeah.
He did a video one time.
Marshall.
I actually seen him do a video, and he was talking to Justin Pike in the video, and he had his belt out.
He was stern.
You remember the video I'm talking about, Justin?
Yeah, Daddy.
I do.
Is that the one where he flicked you off in the video?
Yeah,
Daddy.
I think so.
Okay.
You get a phone call.
Right.
Go ahead and answer it on air.
No, I'm not going to answer that one. I actually cut my ringtone off, and for some reason or another, it keeps getting it back on.
It's Rent-A-Center, isn't it?
It is Rent-A-Center.
Oh, and by the way, I've had major things happen in the last couple months since I've been on here. I do not work in the furniture store anymore.
Oh no, where are you working now?
I'm cleaning carpets.
Really?
Carpet cleaning. So here's how it works. I go into the people's house. They give me a list of the jobs, so I have to go in there. I got this 25-pound buffer. I have to go in there, introduce myself, let them know I'm here to clean the carpets, do a walkthrough through the house, and long story short, I get 40% of what I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of money in carpet cleaning.
This is the thing. I can go in there and I can sell like products as far as like deodorizers, flea and
carpet
tick removal,
shampoos.
stuff like that.
You could
my God! I go in there and I rake them
I would probably in your area because I think they've legalized pot up there, so you can sell pot too.
Yeah, you could, but see,
I'm not sure if it goes with carpet cleaning that well.
Oh, why not?
I mean, how do you bring
Dude,
that?
have you ever gotten stoned and had like right after you've like cleaned your carpets in your whole house and you
No.
get stoned and
No.
it's just like, man, that is like feng shui to like the nth degree.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not my
I really
dream,
I need to clean my carpets. So.
But see, that's why I need to get famous off these videos. I ain't trying to freaking really clean carpets. It's wearing me out.
I know, that's why we're doing this fucking podcast. And
I know.
I've yet to see $1 since we started doing it. It seems
Hey,
like
it's
forever.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. It's got to be coming.
No.
Either that or it has been coming and Doug's been cashing the checks and didn't tell me. Fucking asshole.
I got one check.
I want my fucking money.
I just got the one check.
I want my fucking money.
I do too.
I do. We need to get fucking paid. I mean, really, there's got to be. And look, doing the videos and everything, it's a noble cause. I mean, you got to think about the people that you are actually keeping in your threads that would probably go grab a submachine gun and go start shooting people randomly.
Right.
Maybe that's an ill-timed joke. Definitely have to bring up to the shootings that have happened in Dayton and down in El Paso recently, and it's just the absolute senseless bullshit that goes with all of that.
What do you think the problem is?
The problem's people. People are very, very selfish these days. I mean, everybody's wanting to point the finger at politicians. They're wanting to point the finger at, and look, I will say that, maybe some of the rhetoric out of the White House could be softened a bit. Particularly in issues of, nationalism and people's ethnic groups and stuff like that. And I'm trying not to, I don't want to get in a real heavy conversation about it because it's a really, truly heavy subject. But I think people are selfish at the very root of it. These people are doing these things for selfish reasons, regardless of whatever their ideologies are, this, that, they're wrapped up in their own fucking shit.
Justin, and I know you're going to agree with me here.
Well,
you don't like Trump, do you?
Oh, I can't stand him.
Okay. Well, he's in control.
Absolutely can't stand
He's
him.
in control of the government, right?
Mm-hmm. Sort of.
Right?
Who, Trump?
I mean, yeah. I mean, at least as a figurehead, right?
Yeah, as a figurehead.
Can the government get out of control?
Can the government get out of control?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Do you want them to be the only ones to have guns?
I mean, I'm not saying ban guns, but I mean, you definitely have to. You just can't let it keep happening.
Well, I mean,
you gotta do
governments kill way more people with guns than
what do you do?
citizenry does.
Do you just continue it the way that it is right now?
Well, here's the problem, though, is that I don't see where a law is going because a lot of these people, even if they're right now, a lot of these the guns that are used in these mass shootings have been purchased legally. Okay, well, then you just go ahead and make it illegal, right? That's going to solve the problem, right?
No,
of course not. And the Pandora's box has already been swung wide open. And and full disclosure, and we brought this up on the podcast before. Doug and myself were pretty much about as centrist as you can get. There is no right or left as far as we're concerned, and we have a different view about government and government entities and things like that than some people do, I'm sure. But at the same time, laws have never prevented these types of accidents. Now, they could probably limit them in certain areas, but what we're seeing is a lot of people that are getting gunned down in gun-free zones. And also, too, one thing important thing to point out is that the shooting in Dayton could have been a lot worse had there not been armed police officers there.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
I challenge you to do this. Go look up, just for the 20th century, unnatural deaths. Who caused more unnatural deaths, government or private citizens?
Yeah, I already know the winner of that one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, here's a stat for you. This is a stat that was very alarming for me. Since 2012, there's been more deaths. Kids die under the age of 16 died of gun violence than our soldiers in the military in all four branches.
Wow.
Actually, more soldiers are killing themselves than getting killed in combat.
Yeah.
As well.
The suicide rate among troops and former troops is sky high right now.
Some of that is because our warfare is very advanced at this point, and I mean, it's really war games at this point.
Yeah.
Most of our warfare is done with flying robot.
Drones and technology that actually removes the soldier from an actual battlefield.
Yeah.
Where they're actually having to like.
And
the
instead,
boys
it's more like when
the boys on D-Day, instead of storming a beach, pretty much just walking into open gunfire.
Instead, it's more like sitting on the couch playing a video game.
Yeah, playing Call of Duty or something.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But anyway,
it's sad. It's sad, but there definitely needs to be something done about it.
Yeah, and
I don't know what it is, but you can't just.
And that's the trick. It's what it is, and what's the magic solution with. Again, like I just pointed out, the fact that Pandora's box has been swung wide open for far too long, and there's the little small problem of trying to collect and enforce the laws that go along with outlawing certain weaponry or all weaponry altogether. Kind of go like Australia's gone with it.
But
pretty much limit people to just a little .22 rifle.
If you go with the idea that the more guns per square foot is going to increase the chances of gun violence don't happen at gun shows. It doesn't.
No.
When's the last time somebody shot up a gun show? Well, yeah, not yet. But why not?
Because everybody there has a gun.
Everybody can return fire.
Everybody. Yeah, the people coming in, they're coming in strapped.
And believe it or not,
that's
a deterrent to everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to even if you're going to go shoot up a place, your goal is still not to get shot.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is if there wasn't so many available weapons here, then I guess you could probably do something with laws, and I'm sure there'd be a segment of the population, a large segment of the population, to be ticked off about having to get rid of a quick and easy way to defend themselves against people that would go to buy a gun illegally. We always pointed out that Chicago and the gun violence that they have juxtaposed with their very, very strict and harsh gun laws.
Yep.
I'm sorry, people want to shoot somebody. There's ways to find a gun. You don't need to do it legally.
The people that want to get a gun, they will.
How they blame it on mental health.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. People are so wrapped up in themselves, and there's a lot of people that are angry, and they really don't even know why. So they turn to whatever ideology or whatever their grandfather or father believed in, or this, that, and the other, and kind of go down the rabbit hole with it. And there's so many with the internet and the way the information is spread now. There's so many rabbit holes to go down, and I'm talking about on both sides of the political spectrum, both the far left and the far right. I have a very interesting Facebook feed. I'll just put it to you that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I try to keep up with all of it. I do.
I definitely agree with Pike. There's something has to be done because you can't keep doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Because then we're all just insane at that point.
Yeah.
So,
and the debate.
I definitely agree. Something's got to be done.
And therein lies the debate. What do we do at this point? Do we go ahead and open it wide open and give a gun to every single man, woman, and child and say, all right, it's Wild Wild West time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the Wild Wild West is the Wild Wild West. I've done a lot of research on this. I don't believe the way the Wild Wild West is portrayed is actually the way it was.
Property rights were enforced back then.
I mean, in the movies, definitely. But it wasn't as like, if you watch a Western movie, there's like 2 or 3 times in the movie that people end up out on the street facing each other with guns.
Shooting each other,
I don't think it was that common.
Yeah.
I think it's very overhyped.
Yeah. Well,
it just sucks either way.
And that really is where the origination of mass shooting began, if you think about it. The old stories from the Wild Wild West and Wild Bill. And
is the government going to disarm? If they'll disarm, then I can always hunt with a bow.
Yeah.
But if
I agree with you, Doug.
If the government doesn't plan on disarming, then I don't plan on disarming.
Yeah.
No, not that I could stop the government, but just when the citizens are not armed, what's the government going to do at that point? Because they're pretty bad now.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You can still hunt with the Matthews bow.
I'd love to go bow hunting right now.
Let's do it.
Hunt some wabbits.
I don't
have to.
Yeah, you don't have to hunt right.
You don't believe in what?
I've never been hunting in my life.
Really?
No.
Come on now. I seen a picture of you and Beamon in South America. I seen that shit.
Yeah.
That was actually his dad.
You got you, Pike. You got you.
And put Landon's.
So you're saying that was a lie? How many lies have you told us on Facebook? Tell us now, God damn it.
Oh God.
If I had to throw a number, I'd say a couple hundred.
A couple of hundred? I think that's a little low, don't you? A couple hundred last year.
So you really didn't die, did you?
No, I did die, but I came back.
Okay, well that's fair enough. Smack.
I wrote the message.
Your girlfriend smacked the shit out of you and brought you back.
Yeah.
No, well, I got rushed into the hospital, and then when I was in the hospital, they revived me back in the ambulance.
Oh wow!
Rose from the dead.
Were you doing
my
that?
mom, she made the post.
You weren't doing the
You
heroin.
jumped right on your phone, and let everybody know you were okay, didn't
she
you?
had my phone. Well, she knows my password.
You weren't doing the heroin and had to get the Narcan, did you?
No.
Okay.
I choked on my own gags.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I had to help her with all the grammatical errors, but
you know that's how Hendricks died.
How's that?
Choked on his own vomit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say over some grammatical errors.
No. Hendricks, I don't know.
He never texted.
He didn't have the texting abilities that we have now.
Can you imagine if Hendricks had a Twitter?
I would follow.
He was very political. He was very anti-gun, very anti-military.
Yeah. He was from Seattle.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Seattle dude. He was the original of the Seattle Rockers.
You know why Hendrix is God and Clapton is shit, though, right?
Well, I mean, other than their sheer playing ability.
Nah, it's more than that.
I love Eric.
Not much more.
They were both awesome.
Eric Clapton's badass, but Hendrix is God.
Hold on, they were both awesome, but Hendrix died before he could go through the 70s and record.
Yeah,
well, that's not Eric Clapton's fault.
No, it's not. But see, Clapton, he got to play all the way through the 70s and the 80s. Remember, it's in the way that you use. Remember all that shit he put out?
I do.
See, there's no way to you can't shake that shit off, man. People heard that shit.
What
Hendrix,
was better? What was better, 80s Eric Clapton or 80s Rolling Stones? Ooh.
Oh shit, they were both bad.
Yeah, no, I think Clapton gets a slight nod on that.
Yeah,
I
I'll
do.
say Clapton.
Early 80s. When did what is that? 78.
78.
Was
That was the disco.
I was spurned.
I miss you.
Shattered. What does it matter?
I think the Stones were pretty cool after Brian Jones died.
For a minute, Ronnie Wood.
For a while.
Ronnie Wood was an excellent addition.
For a while. Have you ever heard like the country song they did in the middle? It was talking about the preacher or some shit. It was really funny. Okay, goddamn it. Let's talk some sports real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're back with the Vols.
No.
No, I'm actually pulling for Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia
I
Bulldogs.
was trying to trick you.
Yeah,
okay, goddamn it.
Now let's get one thing understood. Pike was a Michigan fan last year. Michigan was Pike's team, isn't that right, Pike?
Yeah, at the beginning. They were
I don't remember that. You never said that on the
You
cast.
don't remember that?
No.
How many lies have you
National
told us on
champion
this damn
because of
podcast?
Shea Patterson, and I thought Jim Harbaugh would lift Shea Patterson up, and I was very wrong. But if they would have won that game against Ohio State, they'd have been in the playoffs, so I wasn't that far off.
This is interesting because Pike, your team is Georgia now, and your alter ego, Landon Beamon, loves Georgia.
Yes. Huge, massive Georgia fan.
Yes.
Do you like
Huge.
Georgia?
Fucking huge.
Fucking huge.
Well, you like
Emphasis on the
Braves,
word
but you don't
fucking.
like Georgia Bulldogs. That don't make no sense.
Okay,
well,
so
we both had the same success. Can't close worth a damn.
okay, so before we go, you were going to talk about my list the other day, Pike.
Mm-hmm.
You said, "Come on, let's talk about it."
I mean, the thing about it is, you can break down all these other, because I was listening to the show earlier, you can break down who's going to win the Big 12, you can break down who's going to win the Big 10, and it's all interesting, it's cool, but it's going to be Clemson and Alabama playing again for the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
right,
and I think that it's just kind of watered down.
Hold on, now your power rating had Georgia at the top of the SEC.
Yeah, but Georgia will choke. I think the football playoffs is going to be
They're
Ohio
only going to
State.
choke because of the Pike curse.
Yeah, they'll get to the Final Four. They're going to play an SEC championship game. It's going to be really close. Your Final Four is very easy. It's going to be Clemson. It's going to be Alabama at 2. It'll be Ohio State at 3. And it'll be Georgia at 4.
There's a lot of people that believe that you believe in the Pike curse, and that's why you switch to teams strategically to take them out of the running.
This is the thing about the Pike cards. I'm a very good sports gambler, so sometimes when I want things to go my way and I know what's going to happen, I jump on the other team. That way I can watch them lose. So if I win money, or I get to curse. You know what I mean? Either way, I win.
I'm about to say, Pike came in Alabama.
You're hedging your
We
bets,
beat
in other
LSU
words.
because he won a bunch of money off of us, and then after that, we ended up getting drugged by Clemson. Didn't you lose some money on that, like myself?
This is a crazy thing. I was the night before the Eagles and the Bears played. Remember when Cody Parker hit it off the left post?
Yeah.
That Saturday, no, it was a Sunday. He hit it off the left post. I laid 200 to win 500, so I'm up $700. He hit it off the post. I won $700. I turn around, put that 700 on Alabama to beat Clemson for the national championship. Lost.
Oh,
sick. I can't fucking stand Alabama.
I don't blame you after that one.
Well,
So,
I mean, you know what?
I was going to pay my damn rent with that money.
Well, maybe you should have just paid your rent instead of gambling your money away, there, young man.
Should have just called Lifestyles of Rich and Famous. I'd have paid it for you.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. He's got that shit in his front pocket. He doesn't even.
Hey, so what do y'all think I should do to shake up the group next?
You know, it's not too terribly far off. What I guess we need to go ahead and start planning for the next presidential
March.
election.
Pike, you need to call out Teddy Shecklesworth.
Yeah.
Teddy is the current.
Teddy
is the current president of the group. He's.
I don't need the title president, but I'm the Don Juan. The pretty much runs the shop in there.
why don't you run
You're
for king?
undefeated in all elections. You haven't lost an election.
Why
Yeah,
don't
I
you
didn't even lose that election the first time. I just
No.
went on vacation.
Exactly. Why don't you run for king?
Well,
Why don't you just say, come up, make a video and say, Teddy, you can stay president. I'm completely fine with it. I'm moving up to king.
That's kind of like
or maybe
England does it,
dictator.
Yeah,
Emperor.
Dictator. I kind of like dictator.
Dictator. I like that.
dictator.
Yeah.
Dictator.
And maybe grow a Hitler mustache. I don't know.
Now that's a good idea.
No, it's okay. We can Photoshop them in.
Adolf Pike.
Yeah, because that's not.
Yeah.
That would
pretty
be.
good.
That would if. Oh wow. Yeah, I just saw that in my head. You need to do that.
That's a good idea.
Hitler mustache, and then I'll like Google images. I'll go to the barber shop down the road and get this little Chinese man to make my hair look just like Hitler's.
Yeah. Actually, man, if you just did that, just the sheer photo of that, can you imagine? That would melt the fucking internet if you did that. Not that
So
I would.
Family Smack's the only group I'm in now.
Really? You're not at. Well, no. Whoa. What happened to SEC Smack?
I got banned for life because I faked my own death.
Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. You did not.
Yeah.
You did not.
seriously.
I
you'll
sweet
be
talked
back.
Marshall into getting myself back in, but he wouldn't let Pike back in because apparently Facebook community standards has like gone off the deep end because people in California are in control of it. So if any person says any little thing out of the way, it can jeopardize the group. So if Pike, they're worried if Pike says something out of the way or post a video that's not politically correct, that Facebook will shut down SEC Smack and Marshall will be crushed.
That's bullshit. He'll be back in group in 2 months.
No, I've been out for how long, Landon?
Since probably May or April.
Yeah, whenever I fake my own death, that's when I goes out.
Yeah.
Because one of the mids had a passing that was a couple months ago before I faked my own death, and they tried to say that I was mimicking that. Which
yeah.
I wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
Yeah, they tried to twist it and acted like he was like somehow disgracing that guy somehow. I don't even know how, but it is what it is.
Well, it's Pike. Pike, Russ Mostert, my ass. Pike really is the true Smack
Who?
Jesus. Russ Mostert.
Who's that?
Yeah, he like come and go.
Smack L to Jesus.
Oh, you talking about Russie?
De
Oh,
Jesus.
Russie, yeah.
No, Pike is the
while you
true.
were away, that was the first person I added back.
Pike is the true Smack Jesus. People throw all their sins on the Pike, do they
True,
not?
True. And he takes that shit and he climbs up on that cross
Yep.
with a big shitty grin and a mouthful of piss and a porn stash.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right then.
Well, guys, I think that I really don't know where else we can go with this. I think we've covered just about everything. We've covered politics. We've covered college football. We've covered
Gun
that
violence.
mustache
Yep.
that should still be on your face, but unfortunately is not. So whatever.
Adolf Pike Hitler.
Yeah,
Watch the
that's if that comes up, if I see that, that's going to destroy.
Here's what you need to do.
The
You need to
internet.
stick that mustache in a in a plastic bag and raffle it off. And
Oh,
family
man.
smack.
Oh, I
hey.
think I still got the hair in the sink.
Oh, you need yes. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one right there.
I agree.
Okay, guys. Well, Justin Pike, Landon Beamon, we appreciate it.
Any final shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, go Dogs.
Landon?
Landon Beamon.
I'll see y'all. Roll Tide, Doug Shannon.
Roll Tide.
Find Smacking Off the podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. And don't forget to watch our regular Facebook Live weekly episode on Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.